we are at Pop's Soda Shop in Arcadia, and this is on Route 66, and it's been on my list for a little bit to come and check this out. I'm not for sure if the actual soda shop is open or not, and I don't know if you can see it, but those windows are just lined with soda bottles, and they're supposed to have, like, I think they 200-300 different flavors of soda or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount of sodas, but I don't think the inside's open yet. So this big old giant soda bottle actually lights up neon at night. Unfortunately, we cannot be here for that, but I'm pretty excited to just see it. We got a few stops to make on our way home from Oklahoma. If you missed our last couple of videos, go back and check those, because we spent some time in Oklahoma and we showed you some cool stuff on the way to Oklahoma that we'd never seen before. But this is just our first stop of the day, and you know, if you've been watching our channel, I do love the quirky. So this is pretty quirky and I like it. These are so cool. And just so you know, there is fuel here, so if you need gas, you can get gas too. And they do have a restaurant. Tons of t-shirts and magnets and nifty little things. And of course you can buy the sodas. That kind of goes with the supernatural theme. Yep. Ball soda. Oh, there's so many. I might have to buy one of the balls soda. I don't know. I don't even know. Oh yeah, old school bottle. That's cool. There are so many. This one, I keep seeing this label. Always ask for Avery's. Never heard. New Britain, Connecticut. Some of these I've heard of. IBC, Jones, Fitz's, heard of all those. The windows are just lined. There's Big Red. So some of these are not in that cooler. Some of these are Mr. Cola. Wild strawberry. Pure cane sugar.
Picnic area.
Oh yeah, so you can go out there and picnic. Black cherry. Cherry cerise. Oh, so cerise is probably cherry in some other language. Delicious cherry. I do love a cherry flavored some things. This is so cool. Oh, there is some more over here too. Hey look, dang, soda. Dang. That's great. They're so fun. Chocolate cream. Oh, yummy. There's some old school bottles again. Fantas. Cool. Okay, I couldn't find the only cherry one, so I ended up with a cherry strawberry. And I decided last minute to grab that gourmet vanilla cream soda, because I like a cream soda and that sounds good. But I'm not going to open them just yet. I'm still drinking coffee because it's still early. All right, we're going to head to our next spot. Just up the road from Pop's is the Red Barn. And it is not open yet. It opens at 10, I guess. What the sign says. It is free admission, but it's not open, which that's a bummer. But we're like a half hour away from it opening, and I don't think we have time to wait. So I'm just gonna have to show it to you from the outside like this. But the inside is pretty cool. I've seen it on other videos.
It's for sale.
Look at that old building. Yeah, we could buy it and put a little business in there. Not sure what, but that's a nice old building. There's a sign right there on that building. It says Los Angeles, 1,369 miles. So if you were driving Route 66, or now or back in the day, I guess, you got to go almost 1,400 miles to get to LA. Here is an old Route 66 building. I really don't want to walk in the highway, so I guess I'm going to walk in the weeds and hope I don't get a bunch of ticks. We just barely, Jesse caught it. Just barely saw it. Look at that. I don't know if this might be the old filling station, because look, it almost looks like there's an info sign over here. If I can make my way through these icky weeds. Ugh. This is one of the last old gasoline filling stations still standing in this part of the country. No one knows for sure, but it is thought to have been built in the late teens or early 20s. Had 2 pumps, one for regular gas, one for ethyl, which was a little higher octane. So basically a premium of its day. Oil was dispensed from a 50-gallon drum. Oh, that lizard scared the crap out of me. Which was laid down on its side on a wooden frame. A spigot was put in the end of the drum, under which you put a quart can, then taken to your car and put in the motor. No electricity, kerosene lamps or lanterns. Cold soda pop was sold only on days when the Iceman made it. The pop was put in large metal box, chipped ice over it. Hard candy was sold most of the time. Chocolate was sold only in the winter, because obviously it would melt in the summer. Back then it was very hard, difficult to make a living. One day I can't read that. About the time Al Capone was terrorizing the city of Chicago, so-called salesmen came by the station offering to sell the owners a way to make a lot of money, literally, for he had a set of plates for a counterfeit $10 bill. Story goes, people yielded to the temptation with the thought of being able to get rich quick. Small room was constructed on the back of the old station for the purpose of hiding the printing materials and a place to work. Only entrance was through the window that you see in the back wall of the station. Window had a solid wood door, which was kept closed most of the time. People didn't even know that there was a room back there. The way the counterfeiting was done was that they would press one of the plates on a piece of paper with green ink on it, and then let the side dry for 24 hours, and then print the black back side of the bill the next day. Things went along just fine for a time, but while passing one of the fake $10 bills, one of the persons was arrested, and with the identification on him where he lived, he was traced to this old station. While searching the building, counterfeit plates were found, so ended his crime spree like many others. The person being taken to jail was overheard to say it wasn't worth it. Old station was closed, never to open again. Many years later, which had nothing to do with counterfeiting, a murder victim was found in the old abandoned building. Police were unable to identify whether he was killed here or the body was just dumped. The victim was never identified, for he had no identification on him and no one seemed to know him. Please be careful when entering this fragile old building. Well, now that is quite a history. Wow. Isn't this cool? So that would be your window that they use to go back there and do their counterfeiting. That is awesome. What an awesome little history, or big history, for this little building. Is it that?
Well, used to be.
Could be. Yep, I think that's it. So that is a church. Used to be a church. And obviously it looks like they're about to condemn that at some point. And we are gonna go visit the person who used to preach in that church. Right?
Yep.
Yep. And we're going to tell you a little bit of a story about him, because it's kind of interesting. We are in Tulsa at Memorial Garden Cemetery, and we are going to pay respects to Mr. Tisdale. He has quite a lovely stone here. He was a jazz player as well as a very prominent basketball player. And he played for the Indiana Pacers, which is kind of funny, ironically funny, because right now in OKC, where we came from, the OKC Thunder is playing the Pacers in the playoffs. He also played for the Kings and the Suns, and he had quite a career. He was a 3-time consensus first team All-American, 3 times Big 8 Player of the Year, a 3 times first team All-Big 8. His number 23 was honored by the Oklahoma Sooners. He was Mr. Basketball USA in 1982, first team Parade All-American, McDonald's All-American. He medaled gold in the Olympic Games in 1984 and also gold in the Pan American Games in 1983. Sadly, he took a fall at his home in Los Angeles in 2008 where he broke his leg, and it was discovered that he had cancer in his knee, which actually spread into his bones, and he ended up having to have part of his leg amputated in, I believe, August of 2008, and he was given a prosthetic leg. And then sadly in 2009, I believe it was, let's see, May, it should say on here his date of May of 2009, he actually died of a ruptured esophagus, which was due to the cancer treatments, the chemotherapy. So the poor guy was beating cancer, and the treatment ended up getting him in the end. We found our next person, which is Roy Clark. Aw, that's a pretty one. Roy Clark obviously was a musician, country music, rockabilly kind of music. He was on Hee Haw, I don't know for how many years. I was trying to find my information here. He actually appeared on the Beverly Hillbillies as a reoccurring character. Actually, 2 characters. He played businessman Roy Halsey and Roy's mother, Myrtle. That's interesting. I don't remember that. That's funny. He was on the Jackie Gleason Show, The Odd Couple. Of course, he was played at the Grand Ole Opry. He opened Roy Clark's Celebrity Theater in Branson in 1983. He did Hee Haw from 69 until, looks like maybe 97. So that was a long time. I didn't realize Hee Haw was on the air that long. Good grief. He frequently actually played in Branson during the 80s and the 90s. He's pretty famous. I would imagine a lot of our viewers probably know who he is or have heard of him. Now, some of the younger people may not know, but so we just wanted to stop and pay respects to Roy Clark. I thought it was cool that he was buried here in this Tulsa cemetery. Next stop is Leon Russell. This is just a really impressive tombstone. That is gorgeous, and as you can see, he's had many visitors. So Leon Russell was a musician, singer, songwriter. He played keyboards, vocals, bass guitar, baritone, horn. He recorded 33 albums, 430 songs, collaborated with many notable artists. He wrote Delta Lady that Joe Cocker recorded. He was named to the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2018. He was In his early years, he worked on albums with the Beach Boys, The Ventures, Dick Dale, Jan and Dean. On his first album in 1970, the musicians that he worked with included Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr, George Harrison. One of his early fans was Elton John, and he said that Russell was a mentor and an inspiration. He produced and played in recording sessions for Bob Dylan, Frank Sinatra, Ike and Tina Turner, the Rolling Stones. He just, wow. He did a lot. And I'm sure I'm probably not the only one that was actually not really familiar with him by name. But my goodness, this guy had quite a career. Is pretty inspirational career. I mean, he did a lot and collaborated with a lot of very well-known music artists. And there it is. Mr. Sam Kinison, which was the preacher at the church that we just went by. He was a preacher from the ages of 17 to 24, a Pentecostal preacher, a hellfire and brimstone preacher. If you know anything about Pentecostal type preachers, you would know what I mean. He didn't like that life, even though that's what his father and I think brothers all did. So yeah, here's some of his family.
Well, his dad and his brother.
Yeah. And he turned to being a comedian, a pretty raunchy comedian that actually went in the very opposite direction and made fun of religion and God. I never was a fan. I don't find him funny, but a lot of people did.
I did.
Yeah, you like him.
Yep.
I
like the crude
I
humor,
couldn't
but
stand the screaming. If you know Sam Kinison, you would know he was a screamer.
We need to. There's a funeral coming in.
Oh, okay, we're gonna have to head. But you know he was a screamer, and it was
Back to School movie with Rodney Dangerfield.
yeah, it was. He just wasn't my type of comedian. He passed away in a car accident at the age of 38, I believe it was.
By a drunk driver.
Hit by a drunk driver, and it is said that because he was with his wife, or were they fiance?
Fiance or
And she stated that she, we gotta hurry. She stated that he actually put his hand across her or come over in front of her to protect her.
She lived.
At the very last, and he didn't make it, but she did. So there's a little about Sam Kinison, and we kind of have to cut this short because we're parked in the way of these people who are about to attend a funeral.
Yeah, there's Sam Kinison now.
Yeah, go from Sam Kinison to Oral Roberts. So if you don't know, Oral Roberts was a 20th century American television evangelist. He was the founder of Oral Roberts University, which I believe is right here in Tulsa. And let's see, he was actually born in Beebe, Oklahoma, and he died in California. So I'm not sure if it was just because of the university being here or what. I don't know. Yeah, family maybe. I don't know what brought him to the Tulsa area. He supposedly believed that God allowed him to be rich, and he believed that God told him to go out and heal the sick. He actually was a leader of an organization that employed 2,300 people, earning $120 million annually. And yes, Oral Roberts University is in Tulsa. He required the students to sign an honor code that would pledge them to not smoke, drink, or engage in premarital sex, which, I get that. That's a religious thing. That's fine. He constructed the City of Faith and Medical Research Center that opened in 1981. It was a little controversial at the time because it combined prayer and medicine. If you're religious, kind of that whole medicine and stuff. But anyway, so Oral Roberts was a very, very popular televangelist. And we figured since we were here, we would go ahead and visit him. And he is the last one on the list here in this Tulsa Memorial Gardens. This is a very, very big cemetery.
Very nice.
Very well kept. And we have at least one more stop to make before we get completely out of the area. This is a bucket list item for me. I learned of this place a few years ago, and I've seen a few different YouTube people come here, and I've been wanting to see it. And since we were basically in the area, because it's what, 15 miles or so east of Tulsa, it's in Catoosa, Oklahoma, and this is Route 66. This is a Route 66 attraction. It's the Big Blue Whale. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, that's a cute little bathroom area.
Hello.
You can slide right down into the water now.
That's beautiful.
No. Well, I mean, I guess you could do it. Ugh, lots of spider webs. And you could go right into the tail of the... So, I'm assuming this used to be a water park type attraction.
Yep.
Turtles and fish. And you walk right out the mouth where you came in. It's kind of a cool little attraction. Oh look, so you used to be able to go up there evidently. Maybe, kind of like a diving board thing. And when you come out on this side, you can see the eye of the whale. That's really cool. Such a fun attraction. We kind of took a wrong turn because of some construction, or there's so much construction, but I seen this from the distance. It's like an old bridge, but it looks like it's, what's that say? The H. Tom Knight Bridge. Open 4 p.m. It says Molly's, so I don't know what that goes to. Like a business, I guess? Right there is some more bridge. Oh, bridges. There's 2 of them. Huh. We stopped in Chelsea, Oklahoma. We are still on Route 66. That's Route 66 right there. We're having a little picnic lunch. And Jesse noticed the sign that says that Chelsea, Oklahoma is the home of New York Yankee pitcher Ralph Terry, 1962 World Series MVP. That's kind of cool. I happened to glance off to the side to see what this historical marker was. So Jesse had to turn and come back. I mentioned about Ralph Terry, but also Gene Autry, singer and movie star, was discovered in Chelsea by Will Rogers. That's kind of interesting. There's a picture of this bridge. The car going across the Friar Creek Bridge was built in 1926, carried U.S. Highway 66 traffic from 26 to 32 when a new alignment of 66 bypassed the bridge. It's an awesome bridge. Nice little Route 66 sign. You can drive across this bridge. Has a 3-ton weight limit, I think is what Jesse said. Water's moving pretty good for a creek. This is Veneta. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I don't know for sure. And we're on Route 66. It has still quite a bit of the old historic stuff from Route 66. I wonder if they can hear Crowley. He's getting a little wild and crazy back there. I think he's had his fill of being in the Jeep. He's trying to zoom me in the back seat. There's Roger's garage. I guess that's an original, the way they said it on this one little blog that I read. There was the Route 66 painted on the road. So there's the old hotel right there. Pretty mural. So all of these buildings are old. Oh, there's an old theater. Love the old theaters. Really old bridge right there. Avon. Oh, yeah, that's the Avon Hotel. Or, well, was. Yes, Felix the cat. There's one of the old gas stations. Oh, there's, I don't know, something old. Oh, look at that. Well, somebody caters to the Route 66 crowd here. Oh, this is, wow. It's probably another hotel or something. Wow. Oh, there's another station. There's some more. All these are boarded up. Oh, there's another old motel sign. Oh, the motel is actually still there too. This is the Ribbon Road. 1922, a new 9-foot wide roadway was completed between Miami and Afton, Oklahoma. Because no standards existed and so few roads were paved, its width was not unusual for the era. It consisted of a concrete base and edges with a surface of rock asphalt. In 1926, the Sidewalk Highway, as it would be known, was adopted by US 66. Route 66 was paved piecemeal from 1926 to 1937. Since the Miami to Afton section was paved, it became the last segment upgraded to the standards established in 1930. It was also realigned and included a new bridge on the Neosho River. September 13, 1937, the opening of the bridge completed the last segment of Route 66 paving in Oklahoma's Sidewalk Highway, thus became one of the early stretches of Mother Road paving to be bypassed, and today is the only Route 66 roadway of its type in existence. Columbus discovered a new world, but the old Tin Lizzie has made us discover America, said Will Rogers. So this is the road. This is the little section. That's the highway right there, Route 66 highway. So this is the little section of roadway, and you can see how narrow it is with the Jeep sitting there. Yeah, I would say some type of an old service station. There's an old hotel. But we are actually just outside of Miami, Oklahoma. I refuse to call it Miami. I don't care. I know that's what the locals call it. We have a friend from here, and that's what he calls it, but I am not going to say Miami, even though I just did. Nice mural over there.
It's the
That's gorgeous. The interesting thing about this Coleman Theater, first it was built in 1929. It's never closed its doors. Used to host vaudeville type acts and things. And it holds the original Wurlitzer pipe organ. I think that's kind of cool and would be neat to see. This is a gorgeous building. There's some more murals. There's one right here, which you can sit in that chair. That's funny. And there's another one over there. What is his name? That dog. It's like kung fu something. I don't remember. The Skelly Station. Right here on the side of this building is an old painted advertisement that says Jewelry Company. I don't know what would have been on the top. It's all painted over with black paint. There is the old hamburger joint. The cuckoo clock that was up on top. That's what the cuckoo was for, I guess. Ooh, look at the old Ritz. This is so cool. I love all the little neon signs. This is actually Baxter, Kansas? Baxter Springs, Kansas. Old signs are awesome. Old buildings. And this is on Route 66. On their visitor center. Ah, neat. I think that pretty much does it. So we got to see a whole bunch of stuff along Route 66 that we'd never seen before. Got to see a whole bunch of Oklahoma we'd never seen before. We had a good time on this trip. We're glad we were finally able to check Oklahoma off of our list because, like I said, like I think in our first video, like I said, we driven through Oklahoma but never actually really stopped and did anything. So we didn't count it as actually visiting the state. Now we've done it, marked it off the list. That's another state under our belt. We are just about back to the Missouri border, and we're going to call it here because we're backtracking over areas that we've already been, that we came through on the first video. If you missed that, go back and check that out. We thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.